In a city where wisdom was more valuable than gold, there lived a man who didn't sell goods, he sold intellect. People came from every corner, not for wealth or fame, but for a single piece of advice that could change their lives forever. His name was Faris, the seller of wisdom. If you love thought-provoking stories with deep lessons, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. After Faris saved the caliph's life, his humble wisdom shop became the most famous place in the city. People traveled from far-off lands just to consult him. His advice was regarded as more valuable than gold, and his fame grew day by day. The 20,000 dinars he had received as a reward from the caliph made his shop even grander. Now, not only commoners but nobles, traders, and even royal ministers came to seek his counsel. Yet Faris never changed. He charged each person based on what he believed. Their advice was worth no more, no less, regardless of who they were. One day, a wealthy merchant named Hazen visited Faris's shop. Hazen was known for his cunning mind and insatiable greed. He said, "Oh, wise man, I want to buy advice that will make me the wealthiest merchant in the city. But here is my condition. If your wisdom fails, you must return all of my money." Faris smiled and replied, "Very well, Hazen, my fee will be 5,000 dinars. If my advice doesn't work, I'll return 10,000 dinars to you." Hazen quickly handed over the gold and demanded the advice. Faris scribbled something on a piece of paper and gave it to him. It read, "Before chasing riches, secure the wealth in your heart. The one who gives to others becomes the richest of all." Hazen read it and turned red with anger. "This is nonsense. I came to you for business wisdom, not philosophy," he shouted. "I'll take you to court." Faris replied calmly, "Give it 1 month. If you don't become the wealthiest merchant by then, I'll return double your money." Grumbling, Hazen left, but he thought about the advice and decided to give it a try. He changed his business model, he increased his workers' wages, gave free grain to the poor, and treated everyone with kindness. To his surprise, people were deeply moved. Customers flocked to his store, inspired by his generosity. Within a month, Hazen's profits tripled, and he became the wealthiest merchant in the city. Ashamed and grateful, he returned to Faris. "You were right," he said. "Your wisdom was more precious than gold." Faris replied with a gentle smile, "Wisdom is only useful when it's applied. Go, and keep spreading your wealth among others." Soon after, news spread across the city. A mysterious letter had arrived from a neighboring kingdom called Zanzibar. The king had sent a riddle that no one had been able to solve. He announced that whoever answered it correctly would receive half his kingdom, but those who failed would be imprisoned. The caliph gathered his best minds and read out the riddle. "I shine every night, but not with the sun's light. I soothe every heart, but have no shape. I am with everyone, yet cannot be touched. What am I?" Many guessed the moon or a star, but no one could solve it. The caliph grew worried. He feared humiliation if no one in his court could answer. He sent for Faris. Faris arrived, heard the riddle, and said, "I can solve it, but my fee is 100,000 dinars, in advance." The court was shocked, but the caliph, realizing the reward was half a kingdom, agreed. Faris took a piece of paper, wrote a single word, and handed it over. "Hope," he explained. "Hope shines each night, giving birth to dreams of a new day. It calms every heart, though it has no form. Everyone has it, yet no one can touch it. That is your answer." The caliph was amazed. He sent the answer to Zanzibar. Days later, a response came. The riddle had been solved. The king invited the caliph to come and claim his reward in person, but the caliph was suspicious. Knowing the cunning nature of the Zanzibar king, he took Faris along. In Zanzibar, the king welcomed them with a grand feast, but his intentions were not so noble. He presented a second riddle. "I come every night, yet no one sees me. I touch every heart, but have no body. I am with everyone, but no one can catch me. What am I?" Once again, Faris calmly wrote the answer. "Dream." The king was stunned. "You've done it again," he said. "Where do you get such wisdom?" The caliph laughed and replied, "We bought this wisdom from our city's seller of intellect." Defeated, the king handed over half his kingdom, but he had one last plan. He called Faris and said, "Sell me wisdom that will help me win every war and conquer every enemy." Faris replied, "My fee is 100,000 dinars paid in advance." The king paid, and Faris handed him a paper that said, "The greatest weapon in war is peace. The one who wins hearts wins every battle." The king was furious. "I asked for war strategy, and you speak of peace." Faris said calmly, "If in 1 year you do not win more without war than with it, I'll return double your fee." The king agreed. He strengthened his army, but also began making peace treaties. Within a year, his power had doubled without a single battle. He summoned Faris again and said, "Your wisdom made me victorious without war." Faris's reputation grew far and wide. People now called him the Sultan of Wisdom. One day, panic struck the city's market. A rare and expensive silk cloth had vanished from the shop of a respected merchant, Haji Abdullah. The strange thing was there was no sign of forced entry. No broken locks, no witnesses. Despite investigations by guards and detectives, no clue was found. Haji Abdullah's son, Yusuf, a smart but simple-hearted young man, became worried seeing his father's distress. He finally went to Faris. "O wise one," he said, "can you sell me the wisdom to find the thief and save my father's honor?" Faris replied, "My fee is 3,000 dinars. If my advice fails, I'll return 6,000. Though it was a large sum, Yusuf and his father agreed. Faris wrote something on a paper. A thief's pride is his greatest weakness. He trusts his cleverness too much. Trap his pride, and you'll trap him. Yusuf was puzzled, but he trusted Faris. That night, he devised a plan. He made a loud public announcement. Another rare silk cloth even more valuable would be displayed at his father's shop. It would be guarded by the best watchman in the market. The news spread quickly. Yusuf believed the thief would feel tempted to steal again to prove his cleverness. He hid in the storeroom with a few trusted friends, watching through secret holes in the walls. Late that night, a masked man entered silently. He avoided the guards and slipped into the room, just as Yusuf expected. As he reached for the silk, Yusuf and his friends jumped out and captured him. When they pulled off his mask, the whole market was stunned. The thief was none other than Hamid, a well-known and respected trader. Ashamed, Hamid confessed, "I thought I was too clever to be caught. My pride blinded me." Yusuf returned the stolen cloth. His father's reputation was saved. The next morning, he returned to Faris. "Oh, seller of wisdom, your advice not only helped catch the thief, but saved my father's honor. You were right, a thief's pride is his trap." Faris smiled. Wisdom isn't just knowing the answer, it's knowing how others think, and guiding them toward the truth. And so, Faris's shop of wisdom stayed open, welcoming all who sought guidance, as long as they had the courage to act on it. Some called him a philosopher, others a magician, but all agreed, he was the true Sultan of wisdom. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, share it with friends, and subscribe for more inspiring tales. Until next time, stay wise. Allah Hafiz.